Welcome into the recap of the Cubs' 5-2 loss to the Milwaukee Brewers Tuesday evening at Wrigley Field as Milwaukee now takes over first place. Cubs fall out of the top spot in the NL Central for the first time in a very long time. I'm David Kaplan. It's brought to you by our great partners at Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank is home of Kasasa Checking. It's always free checking and it pays interest. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Folks, the offense just wasn't enough. You're facing an ace. Jacob Misiorowski had, I believe, 20 pitches over 100 miles an hour. He's a really good pitcher. But guess what? He was close to 30 pitches in the first inning. And they just can't come up with a big hit in a big spot. When the Brewers need to, they deliver. When the Cubs try and get back in the game, the Brewers add on. And then when the Cubs get the bases loaded, they just cannot get that game-breaking or game-tying hit. And that's the way it ends. This team just does not look good at the plate, and the manager refuses to really do much with changing the lineup. Ian Happ was a non-factor again tonight, and he just keeps running them out there in the cleanup spot, which I don't agree with. I'd love your thoughts. Post them here on our channel. Let's get into it. It's also brought to you by our great partners at Tasty Trade. Stocks, crypto, futures, options, whatever you trade, your platform should always be tastytrade.com. Special offer from our friends at Tasty Trade if you click the QR code on your screen. Brewers jumped on top of Ben Brown in the first inning as Garrett Mitchell got a base hit. That brought in Bryce Terang, and it's 1-0. In the third, Jackson Churio scores on a wild pitch. It was a tough pitch. It was a breaking ball that, had a ton of break, but it's also one I think Miguel Amaya would tell you he's got to keep in front of him. And then Bowers gets a base hit. That brings in Contreras, and all of a sudden a 1-0 game where you're thinking, all right, one swing of the bat, we're right back in the thing. Now it's a 3-0 game. And then Terang in the 8th inning hits a 2-run home run. That brings 2 more in, and it's 5-0. Cubs come back in the 8th. Nico Horner, a base hit. That scores PCA. Seiya, a base hit, an infield variety. And that brings home Amaya. They've got the bases juiced. They pinch hit correctly by Craig Counsell. I thought he made a good move. He went to Matt Shaw. They went to a right-hander. And then he went to Michael Conforto. And he grounded out to second base. So unfortunate. They look inept offensively. And I know Misiorowski's a beast. He was a monster today. Cubs did nothing with their bullpen in the 9th inning, and ball game over. Brewers win again by a final of 5-2. Player of the game, I got to give it to Misiorowski. Guy was a beast. He's the Gallagher player of the game. AJG.com, Gallagher since 1927 has been serving the Chicago business community and businesses of every size to provide insurance, risk management, and people strategies. Again, AJG.com. If you look at the numbers tonight for Misiorowski, I already told you how many pitches over 100 miles an hour. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 8 Ks, and a walk. The dude's just a beast, an absolute monster on the mound. And even when they got him out after 6 innings, the Cubs did not do a lot to get back in this game. As I said, they had their opportunities late, and they did nothing really with it other than get it to a 5-2 game. Quick look at the box score brought to you by Sinus and SnoringMD.com. And they asked me to remind you, they also handle allergies. We're into the allergy season. Sinus and SnoringMD.com. For the Cubs tonight, they got 7 hits in the ballgame, 2 for Nico Horner, 2 for Seiya Suzuki, and then they spread around a handful of other hits, but no big hits in big spots. And for the Milwaukee Brewers, a 3 for 4 with a home run and 2 RBIs for Bryce Terang. They banged out 11 hits. Bowers also had a multi-hit night, and the Brewers win the ball game. Quick look at the starting pitching matchup brought to you by our great partners at Hooters, 11 Chicago area locations. Misiorowski, as I said, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 8 Ks, and a walk. For the Cubs, Ben Brown, 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs there, earned 6 Ks, 2 walks. Webb, Thielbar, Thornton, and Maton finished it off. Thornton was the only one who gave up runs. He gave up that 2-run Bryce Terang home run. Quick look ahead of what's coming up next. It's brought to you by the people that did this kitchen. Studio 41, home design showroom, studio41.com. One more with the Brewers tomorrow. Day off on Thursday. The Astros roll into town over the weekend. They've been having plenty of issues too, but right now, the way the Cubs are hitting, you can't count on anything from them. At least they don't have to face Mizorowski tomorrow. We'll see how things go, if they can salvage one in the series. Cubs lose, they're out of first. Brewers take over the top spot in the division. Have a great rest of your night. I'm Cap. Take that.